did not last pick a support hero. I feel like that would be a really great start for them.
Yeah, that's been a bit of an odd one, isn't it? In terms of, I always think of the comparison is easy to make against Evil Geniuses. Yesterday they had a poor day. Liquid also had a poor day. Today the boys have come back in from Evil and had a great day and really picked themselves back up. But why have Liquid not been able to do something similar?
Who knows? I mean, I don't know. I know like EG, for example, has Fear and then their manager Phil, who are just like very good about keeping the team like emotionally sound. I know Liquid has Dean as their coach, and I don't know their manager, but I don't. Maybe they just don't have the same support staff, or maybe they, Kuroki isn't as inspired as Crit, or there's a ton of different things that it could be, and it could just be maybe they're having 2 bad days in a row. But maybe they get it together tonight and win their game tomorrow, and they can find themselves in a good spot going into the finals.
Okay. In terms of draft, Kevin, we're moving into it in a moment. We've seen a few odd. Well, we are in it right now. We've seen a few odd picks from Liquid here and there.
Yeah.
They haven't necessarily worked though. Like you feel like they're experimenting, and that's okay in the group stages. That you get a guaranteed place in the next round. But if there's a shot for them at the top 2, would you expect them to be picking a bit more standard? Some of the more comfort heroes, like EG, have gone back to comfort heroes today, and it's worked really well.
Yeah, that's maybe one thing to question on them. If they go for all these funky drafts, maybe they're taking too long to figure out the meta. They've gambled some of their chances away by have taken a worse placement in the groups. But yeah, maybe they'll solidify a bit here. It's towards the end now. It's time to pick something that works and stick to it.
And the Magnus is one of those things.
It worked last game they played.
Yeah, it has worked relatively well.
Yeah, it worked. They won.
Yeah,
that's a good start.
Yeah, I mean it was that weird game with EG, wasn't it? Where both games were the other way around, weren't they? Liquid winning one that they lost, and then losing one that they won.
Exactly. Very emotional games, I like to call those.
Yeah.
As Dota can be.
Tough losses, tough wins.
Dota's a hard game. It's not for the weak, that's for sure.
Absolutely. MP going with the lifestealer opener.
10 seconds remaining.
Securing it early. Sometimes doesn't always work, can be relatively easily countered.
Lifestealer won both games, right, for
Winter Wyvern.
Liquid series.
Yep.
Liquid's turn to pick.
And people falling back for Winter Wyvern a little bit to survive RP ganks.
That's not bad. It's interesting combo. It'd be cool if Liquid decided to do more of like a magic damage RP.
10 seconds remaining.
Which is unlikely because Empower is mostly for melee physical, but
grab like Skywrath or something. Like, go ahead, I guess.
Yeah, maybe, or like Disruptor or
reserve time.
Something that combos well with the RP that is magic-based damage. But yeah, Skywrath could be cool. Lena is a hero that we've been seeing a lot. That works. That hero works great against Winter Wyvern. Crystal Maiden, lots of magic damage to follow up if somebody does get Cold Embrace.
It's definitely come back into the meta, isn't it?
Who? Crystal Maiden?
Yeah. Especially in these last 2 games.
I guess
feel
so.
like we've seen it an awful lot in the last 2 days.
We've seen a lot of it.
The root buff obviously was big. Her talents are okay.
Her talents are not good.
5 seconds remaining.
60. No, I'm just kidding. I think they're almost good. I think her problems are so deep that her talents seem bad. That's the problem. Like super slow, low HP.
Wait, where's the movement speed talent?
It's not there. The 120 GPM. That's how you solve that one.
That's not to like level 20 though, right?
Cast range 15. That's more or less movement speed.
Yeah, cast range is good. The level 10 one is so bad. I don't even think people skill it at level 10.
Yeah, they don't.
It's like you get like this level 14, you skill your first talent, and then level 15, you get your second talent.
5 seconds.
Something like that, yeah.
But that's partially because their other skills are so good.
Reserve time.
Yeah, that's true. Frostbite.
Some interesting bans on the board as well. We hadn't talked about the first round bans. Invoker again. I think that makes it 100%. Every team has banned Invoker against Team Liquid this tournament.
Miracle's a player.
Yeah.
I like that Alchemist and Naga ban. Maybe I see ourselves an entertaining game of Dota. Juggernaut ban, we could still
don't get too carried away.
No, I was looking forward to this series. I saw that on the schedule this morning that this series was the last one of the day, and being here in China, being a little jet lagged, it can be tough to make it all the way through the day. Sure. But I was excited for this game.
A jug ban as well.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, it's
hard to gank.
5 seconds remaining.
NP does like to roam, especially in the early game. They really value. We saw like they leave Lifestealer solo up against Centaur, and they might do a similar thing here up against the Magnus, and then move a lot with their supports.
Do love the intensity of both of the
Earth Shaker.
captains in either team at the moment as well.
Liquid's
This is a
turn
big
to
match for
pick.
both teams.
Yeah.
So probably an MSS or Shaker, I'm guessing.
Him and Universe like the only two players to play offlane Shaker, I think, this tournament. Both have had a lot of success with it as well.
I like it this game. It's
10
an easy way to
seconds
interrupt
remaining.
freezing field, which sometimes can be a huge issue. It's a Lifestealer bomb
5
combo with
seconds
lockdown
remaining.
combined,
I saw
which is cool.
NP has been playing a couple of games off of this stream on the other
Reserve
stream,
time.
but I saw a bit of it. And MSS was flying around with the Aghanims Earth Shaker. Pretty cool.
Do you need like a dual lane to make his lane more viable though?
He's
just,
just
like,
he's
fissure
a tough hero to duel lane with because he doesn't offer much in a duel lane. I think he could.
Legion
I
Commander.
mean, they could still do like Monkey King.
Dire team pick.
Very curious they pick Legion when their opponents already have Wyvern. It's like the counter.
Yeah, it is. It is really nice, and it's also that means we're most likely going to see Magnus on the mid lane for Miracle.
Okay.
Or GH. Who
10
knows? Who
seconds
knows? Maybe we got a new
remaining.
mid player.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have mixed it
Miracle
up today.
Crystal Maiden, 4th
5
position.
seconds remaining.
Well, we've seen support Miracle Sand King today, and
Reserve
GH took
time.
what was that? I think he took the Naga, didn't he, in the mid?
Mhm. Yeah,
Mhm.
that'd be
Mm.
a treat. I'm down for some Miracle Crystal Maiden. No, that seems pretty unlikely, I think.
That's his hero.
Yeah, I think it's Naga's like a particular hero that, you know, it's all about like
Yeah.
microing your illusions and cutting waves and playing the game very differently than you would other heroes. So it makes sense that makes a little bit of sense that there's a different player that does it.
Yeah,
Even though I think
Naga specialist.
yeah, even though I think Miracle's Naga is very, very good, but
Yeah.
GH's was truly impressive.
So secondary support here for NP. They don't have the best. Okay, yeah, this is a pretty
Liquid's
classic
turn
NP
to
pick.
pick.
Mostly because Elder Titan is really the synergy hero. Lowers armor, lowers magic resistance. The downside though is the armor reduction aura is around his base hero, not around his spirits. So if there's like Lifestealer bombs, it's maybe not the most
10
effective. It can work
seconds
really well with
remaining.
Earthshaker, I guess, and Winter Wyvern, but maybe they can do like Wyvern
5
ultis into Elder
seconds
Titan ultis or
remaining.
something.
It's not a bad team fight disruptor. Or in terms of like you can find the Magnus with your spirit,
Reserve
cancel his
time.
blink, and then
Timber Spirit.
stomp on top of the RP.
Or the
Dire
Legion Duel or
team
something.
ban.
But he's definitely weak early game in lane, so I feel like against Legion, CM might have some issues. Ember Spirit kind of providing a lot more problems as well.
If you kind of like do the thing on Elder Titan where you hit 2 neutral cramps
10
and then you can run
seconds
into lane,
remaining.
you can get like plus like 80, 90 damage, and it makes it a
5
bit better in
seconds
lane. But yeah, it's
remaining.
definitely not the strongest laner.
And even when you do that, you still only have like 1 or 2 armor, so
Reserve time.
That's true.
kind of iffy. And most Elder Titans go boots, so it's just not the best regen, not the best survivability. You can hit okay. The hero just got nerfed so many times. Like the old ogre, basically.
Yeah, that's something I noticed this tournament too. Is 1.37 is drafting for them as well.
Mm.
Instead of Eternal Envy, so a little less work for Jackie Mao.
Liquid's turn to ban.
Let's see, we need Eternal Envy hero for mid, and then we need a support hero for Kuroki. Or I'm kidding.
So
maybe
why
for-
do you dislike the support last pick?
10
Just because you
seconds
feel like their cores
remaining.
get countered?
I just don't. I think your last pick should be used to hit on a
5
hero that is
seconds
gonna
remaining.
win you the game.
Yeah, you prefer a mid or a carry there, don't you?
Yeah, mid or carry for
Yeah.
sure. 1 or 2 position.
Reserve time.
This game, like, you should pick something that's good against Lifestealer. Ember Spirit's okay. Legion Commander's okay. Magnus, not particularly great. Crystal Maiden, awful. I don't like. There's a
Yeah.
first pick Lifestealer on MP, and they don't really have any heroes that are very good against him. So it doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
Okay, kill the other heroes.
Yeah, that's a good strategy too. Winter Wyvern's not like. He's set up to do relatively well. A lot of magic damage from Crystal Maiden and Ember Spirit, but Legion Commander duels will be tough.
And they're still banning here actually. Ursa's still in the game, I guess. Don't know if I like Ursa. Okay, actually.
if they will pick.
Oh, no, I mean, what I forgot.
They're joking around. They're smiling.
Lone Druid.
Oh,
Quite
that's
happy,
why.
don't they?
Oh, they brought it back.
Oh,
Team
okay.
pick.
It's back.
Croaky is out of
Against a
control.
life stealer?
Croaky's-
Against a life stealer?
Croaky's out of control. I'm calling it here.
Against a life
He's
stealer?
lost his mind.
He's
There-
lost
there's
his
gotta be
lone
something-
druid mind.
I don't know.
Maybe this is that. I heard that Matoma Man was going like range
10
lone druid to
seconds
start and then
remaining.
transitioning to radiance and
Really?
melee.
So
So
who's playing? Is it a
5
GH
seconds remaining.
support Magnus? Jungle LC?
I've heard he has a good Magnus.
I'm sure he's got a great Magnus.
10 seconds
He's an amazing.
remaining.
He's a lot of people have great Magnus.
Let's see if the lone
5
druid
seconds
works.
remaining.
I'm not sold.
Okay, well, we said they would stay away from Funky, but they
And
haven't.
Spectre.
And we got a Spectre
These
on
drafts
MP.
are crazy.
What on earth is going
Spectre
on?
is kind of people have been thinking that Spectre as like a possible like lone druid counter, because you can like get on top of him. He's almost
Okay.
lone druid's almost like a sniper these
Yeah.
days, so that's kind of nice.
Hmm.
But still like was it Spectre mid or Lifestealer mid or
Don't know yet.
who knows?
We're going to find out, and we're going to find out right now as we send you over to our commentary team for the final series of the day. Game 1 is upon us between Team Liquid and MP.
Thank you very much, Paul. And indeed, we just heard from the panel, PPD as well. A bit kind of flabbergasted with what's come up here. These final picks from both sides. NP with the Spectre and Liquid,
10
as they said,
seconds
bringing back
remaining.
the Lone Druid, a hero that we've
Yeah.
seen everyone pretty much avoid gods. Well, what's going
5
on?
seconds remaining.
Perhaps we're going to see some good old-fashioned, old-school Spirit Bear Lone Druid. I feel like the Range Lone Druid has received nerf after nerf and viable, but this may be a game. It's not exactly amazing against Lifesteal because he does just chomp away at your bear. But the lanes from MP are going to be the interesting thing. I mean, from both teams, you've got a 4th-position Magnus or LC. One of those heroes is going jungle, so it's right from the get-go very greedy from Liquid. From NP, they've got a very unconventional mid laner. I've seen Envy play the mid Lifestealer at least twice before, so that was not like a first for them, but that's still like not very conventional. It's not exactly what you'd expect from NP in such an important
I mean,
match.
wasn't it MV who played the mid Spectre again?
Possibly. Right.
Have I seen him do that? And is he?
He's on Spectre.
He's on the
you know,
Spectre.
he's-
Yeah, I think it was on one of his streams, or was it a pro game? I've definitely seen him do it.
He's the mid anti-mage.
The
He'll
mid-am-
do
yeah.
all kinds of weird stuff.
Pick up a
It's-
poor man's and be ready to go. We've got it
Yeah.
all here, ladies and gentlemen. It's a Spectre. Eternal Envy, baffling people once more, and it could be brilliant. We saw actually personally maybe some of the people watching stream too earlier, MP's earlier game, where they already pulled out some crazy stuff. We saw
Yes.
Aoi come out with an Enchantress, which it caught us all off guard, and it
Yes.
certainly caught IGV. Spoilers if you haven't watched that game, close your ears. It was a stomp. And it's an entertaining stomp at that as well. I would go back and watch that show, especially if you're an MP fan. But for now, of course, you want to stick here and get ready to watch this one. So, well, here we go. We're getting ourselves ready for the matchup. We'll be able to introduce both of the lineups here. We can see Liquid preparing themselves. And Liquid, in terms of what we've got, what the panel certainly expected. GH will be playing the Magnus. On the Amber Spirit, Matuma Man on his Lone Druid, Mind Control on the Core Legion. Kuroki. What's going to be? It seems like that very kind of solo support really. I mean, Magnus, GH needs items. It feels like Kuroki. He's going to have a pretty much 4 cores that he's carrying this game as the support on the backlines.
That was kind of how the last game they won worked, where Miracle was playing 4th-position Sand King, GH was mid Naga, and like there was
Yeah.
Kuro down at like 4K net worth, while everyone on his team was at like 30K net worth. So it seems like the Liquid order has been readjusted. Kuro supporting the world. It kind of feels like a lot of teams have just adjusted how like player roles fit in their team. Like we've seen from MP, you mentioned the AUI Enchantress, where it's like, well, why is AUI playing a jungler? We saw it with Liquid, where they put GH in the mid lane out of nowhere. So very kind of unconventional stuff, not like in terms of drafts, in terms of players, where they're going, what heroes they're playing. Be strange. AUI's got a full-man shield. I wonder if he's going to off lane. Lifestealer even. They've been putting MSS a lot in the safe lane, where we saw the safe lane Magnus a
Yeah,
couple
we saw
of games.
in the earlier
so,
series today. Yeah.
it seems like they don't. I mean, is the top lane really the safe for Dire anymore? You've got the Shrine down bottom, so it was talked about a lot with the new patch. Like, where is the true safe lane these days? Some of the map changes. Jungle camps. There's a Shrine you can play around. There's this shop down in that bottom lane. So maybe the Dire off lane is a better place than the Lifestealer.
And once again, kind of going back to really the lone druid. I mean, gods, this was a hero that was in an amazing place. Everyone was picking it. It was first top tier picks and bans. Then it got hit, and then it got hit again to the point where, as I said, everyone's pretty much avoiding it. What is it that makes this hero so hard to play, do you feel, in the pros' eyes at the moment? Because of it.
Mostly it's the uptime of the Rabbit. That was the biggest nerf the hero received throughout all of the various nerfs and stuff he got. You know, definitely some really absurd things. The -50 became -40-second respawn time, but Rabbit uptime used to be 100%. Now it's 30 out of 45.
Do the math.
2/3.
45 divided by fine is 9 times by 20 is 180. I don't know where I'm going with this.
2/3 uptime. Yeah.
2/3 uptime.
Yeah, so it's not 100%. That's all I know. And yeah, you're not constantly Rabbit. It means you have to pick and choose when you fight. If it's about to wear off, you're probably telling your team, back, my Rabbit's about to... When your Rabbit's not up, you're not all that scary as a lone druid. You don't have that super movement speed and all that. It does kind of change the hero quite a bit. Effective.
Straight away, 40-37 in mind control to find each other as they both attempt for the warding mission to maintain control of this top lane. SVG gives Kuroki a pat on the back. Himself did manage to head over, did get the Observer ward down. Of course, also placing his towards that bottom rune spot. Liquid.
Will be just the straight up Magnus jungle, it seems. Iron Talon is there for GH, and no big surprise. This is like a greedy approach, but something that NP don't really have roamers. I guess Elder Titan would theoretically roam and try and disrupt it. If you find them low HP, you can maybe get some cheap free kills with the Boots movement speed advantage, try and snipe some last hits as well. But it's dangerous invading enemy jungles because that shrine there is a heal, but also a TP location. So often we'll see like a CM or someone just carry a TP, and if someone like an Elder Titan can test the Magnus jungle, CM TP's in, there's your first blood, ET's dead. So
I'm intrigued as well on the topic of the Magnus jungle. Is it better that? Is it just more efficient? Why are we not seeing the Legion in the jungle and the Magnus in the lane? Is there a reason why you are going this way round than the other if you're Liquid here?
Yeah, the Legion's a lot stronger in lane.
The battle begins.
Jungle capacity-wise, Legion perhaps better, I guess you normally say. But Legion in the offlane is very durable, very hard to kill. He's got a lot of good defensive tools. He gets a ton of movement speed from the overwhelming odds. He's able to purge off things like open wounds. So the hero in the offlane is incredibly resilient. We've seen a lot from LFY. It's Yixing's most played hero, and he does incredibly well in the first 5-10 minutes at getting stuff out of the lane. Magnus, you can actually zone the hero. He's a bit squishier, doesn't quite have the same stats to play around and have the same great time there.
Interesting as well to note, of course, it is indeed Envy playing the mid, but MP switching the lanes around. Envy up on the top lane, on his own at the moment. Aoi is in the mid, did have the Whiteman come over across to help him. So who's this trying to dodge who? Who's getting the lanes that they want, do you feel?
MP kind of set these lanes up as far as they're concerned. Envy went for a really odd play with that pull through, but he gets it to the neutral camp, so he's going to be able to theoretically farm the neutrals as well as this creep wave, although he has to hit the last hits as well. Meanwhile,
oh, look at this.
Yeah, it's kind of what I talked about. SCG, you want to come in and mess with the Magnus jungle? Well, Kuro's going to be there, and potential first blood could come your way, but with Boots, you will get out of there.
Very, very speedy indeed. They do manage to get him out of their hair and get a bit of space for GH. Desperately tries to kick off this jungling. But of course, attention drawn here is going to kind of free up the lanes a bit more for the rest of Liquid. You can see in the mid lane already just the aggression coming out here from the other Spirit. And SVG actually this time wrapping GH down low, but they've got the Shrine. Kuroki coming with the wraparound, and this time SVG's boots aren't going to allow him to walk that off. As first blood goes to the Magnus, and that is exactly what you don't want to happen. You may have stopped him from hitting creeps for the first minute, but you've given him first blood.
And that's when things going to happen how you expect them to. That's the CM presence that Elder Titan had to respect and didn't. He goes in and invades the jungle. He can just go right back, knowing that the Magnus has used the Shrine. Without that Shrine up, it's a lot easier to continue being aggressive. And
he does. He's straight there.
Yeah, he's not put off. Like, you die like that, yeah, it's like, man, I didn't want to give up first blood, but you're also like, well, suddenly I'm a lot stronger because there's no Shrine to worry about.
GH having to skewer himself away. Got incredibly low there as the Spirit got thrown out. Will get himself back to safety.
got to be concerned. You're like a level 1 ET just running around the map. You got to find levels somewhere at some point. You want to get at least the level 2 stomp. Perhaps be finding that from some of these bounty runes. Very unconventional laning setup for NP. The mid lifestealer does alright against the Ember, but the Spectre's kind of like a solo safe lane Spectre. Use that early pull to the neutrals to help get some extra farm. But since then is going to lose very badly in a 1v1 against.
I was going to say, this can't be a pleasant lane once Mind Control's got a few levels. It's going to be very hard for Envy.
It's like peak of terribleness with the LC phase boots. Phase boots are there for LC. Good luck going anywhere near the hero.
Mid lane again, Owie, moving in on Miracle with the open wounds. I mean, you can kind of do this, I guess, as a light stealer. Trade it and gotta be careful, as you mentioned earlier. Maybe lack of respect here really for Kuroki.
There's a skewer, so TP is just not an option.
He could try for the deny. He's not going to get it. GH picking up a second kill. Thanks to SVG, pretty much this fast food order takeaway delivery service that he's providing. As GH certainly getting fed in the first 3 minutes.
That one a bit unfortunate because it came as a result of a haste rune, which he didn't have eyes on, only Radiant Vision at that bottom room, but nonetheless, you go aggressive deep in the enemy jungle, you're going to get punished here and there, and again, still level 1 at this point. Yeah, look, he's actually going to take over top lane while Envy jungles. That's interesting lane development. Definitely, to me, suggests NPs. This isn't like the game we saw earlier where Envy was AUK and he left the mid lane to go into Wyvern to go jungle to give the lane to a support. No, this is way too early for your lanes to break apart. This is very much a reaction to SVG's
mid
roaming
lane
favor.
Miracle falling incredibly low here as Owie nearly able to take him down. One more swipe would have done it, but he couldn't quite get there in range.
So yeah, the jungle Spectre. Busts. Best jungler, but makes do with what he can here. 2 points from Desolate to try and speed things up a little bit, but this is not really the ideal place to be running your Spectre. And considering this was a 5th pick, it's not like you feel like you 5th pick a hero and you should have like a good plan or lane for it. You should know that hero. If you're 5th picking a Spectre, you should be like, this Spectre game is going to be great. Like, it's going to have a good lane. Or if it's not going to have a good lane, it hard counter something. Yeah, it's pretty good against the lone druid, being able to get on top of him, but you just picked the Spectre in a game where your lanes are getting destroyed. So I'm a bit surprised by the fact they don't seem to have a clear plan for how to lane this Spectre. I guess the end result is not having a plan means they're sending it to the jungle.
Tower is under attack.
And one of the lanes that we're still kind of yet to talk about is that bottom lane, as we just saw Matuma Man very much getting free farm. You mentioned across the board lanes just looking very, very strong for Liquid. MSS is able to find a little bit. He's got 14 CS. He's getting the levels down there. But he's just unable to do anything in terms of slowing down this lone druid in this laning stage.
Greedy with they had 2 junglers at various points. Kuro was jungling somewhere, and GH was jungling somewhere else, and they're winning the lane. They're winning the lane while jungling.
And top lane, they're just going to walk in here for the duel. It will be successful as Mind Control gets himself the tasty +10, and SVG really struggling to find a place this game so far with his 3rd death.
I feel like I've never actually seen a team win all 3 lanes while having 2 junglers. Like, pretty absurd. They're not even really roamers. Like, the CM are perhaps a bit of a roamer, but Magnus is a straight-up greedy jungler.
You can't lose lanes if you're not in them, gods.
Dire's top tower
Well,
is under
there's
attack.
solo heroes in them. They just don't need supports to win their lane. That's the crazy thing. They've got 3 solo heroes. I mean, that's the thing with their drought. Legion, Lone Druid, these are heroes that excel in 1v1 matchups. No Jewel to kill him, but Phase Boots, there's a CM, Nova into Frostbite and Envy.
He should be. I mean, he's got the backup here. Oh my goodness! He's not fine. The nuke is too good for Mind Control, and he gets himself a double kill as well as they clean up 40-37. Oh dear. Oh dearie me, David.
You were saying Kuro's lost his mind, but whatever he's on, it's
I
he
want
needs to go. Yeah, he needs to go crazy a bit more often
crazy.
because this. I don't know. It seems like NP are allowing it to happen is what is bizarre about it. But that's always been the NP kind of motif with the laning stage early game. Is they're very greedy. They try and.
Oh, hello. Surprise, surprise, Matuma Man. There's a lifestealer in here, and can't get him off it. So MP gets himself the first kill on the board with a super surprise gank down there. Lifestealer and Envy turning up.
You need to get something happening. Every time Haunt's up, I feel like they just got to gank as much as Envy doesn't even phase boots. He's close to them, but you got to find picks somewhere on the map. You can't just try and if you're just trying to passively farm your jungle back in the game, you're going to farm slower. You're going to get picked off one by one by Legion duels. So every time MB's got Haunt, he's probably going to be telling his team, go find a pickoff for me, I'll Haunt in, even if you're trading kills, you gotta do something here. Very early use of the Infest as well, but you gotta try and salvage this absolutely atrocious laning stage. Mind Control's the fastest phase armlets for a Legion offlane you can imagine. Very good for the Liquid side, even with that kill onto the Lone Druid.
I mean, top lane, you see SVG's maybe thinking of getting into some sort of a position, but the two of them, they surely don't have the firepower to bring down this Legion. It's absolutely massive for this stage of the game.
Legion wants them. He's like, I'm considering a duel on MSS probably. SVG is there for the stomp. Dual combo breaker.
This'll come in handy.
Broke in the neighborhood as well. Certainly ready to help out Mind Control if the occasion arises.
7, sneaks some bounty runes, a Miracle with the danger rune, the haste. Picked up, this is a great rune to get an Ember 8 minutes in. Fishing for kills, and he knows someone's around his jungle. Bounty rune went missing, and I think they just had eyes on Wyvern.
Top lane gods, they do end up getting the opportunity to close in for another duel. 301 victories now, Mind Control racking up on the Arcana, second one this game. Experienced man. He is having probably one of the best starts I've seen Legion have in a while.
Insanely fast. No one's going to be able to really fight him. Very good at just like going head to head with a lifestealer with when you've got that fast armlet. He's not going to be afraid of AOI at all. You know, the armlet toggle through any kind of damage if he's ever low against the lifestealer. Yeah, he's got a 9-minute armlet phase with another 500 gold. Be bad for NP. So the solution's going to be, yeah, just continuing to gank with Haunt, infest ganks, as much as neither Lifestealer nor the Spectre has like any kind of items that you'd normally expect them to have before they start rotating, like no armlet yet, just phase boots, no urn or anything on NB.
Look at this. Moves. This is one of the Lifestealer carries you don't always think about. The Haunt infest spot.
Asking for an initiation down bottom again. Matu's.
MV. I didn't. Miracles. I know.
Gotcha.
Meanwhile, we're watching this kind of fancy footwork in the mid lane as MV hiding in the trees. Miracle knew.
Can't really kill Miracle. I haven't got the damage. He'll just remnant away.
Yeah.
He wants his teammates to initiate down bottom. Probably saying like get a stomp on Matu if possible, but a lot of wasted time right now. MV walks back, probably just trying up and.
This is actually painful moments for both MV and Aoi. It's like it's your two cores not getting anything done unless they can find a kill.
They want the big kill. They want the Legion.
Oh, that is. I mean, it is a big one. It's a tough one.
Yeah. MSS is going solo smoke, looking to initiate, but Mind Control is very aware of what's up. Either that or he's just going for a little shopping mission, but he's just backing off altogether.
Lane.
Top lane Mind Control has walked into MSS now.
And okay, there we have. There's the jump in. Have they got the damage to bring him down though with the Echo Sound? They're throwing everything at him. Mind Control just turns, brings Emmy down low. Can he get himself out with the armor toggles? Here we go, boys and girls. He walks it off. Horde, Infest, Echo Slam. He doesn't give a damn. And now here comes Miracle with the wraparound. Takes down MV. Matuma Man's turned up as well on this top lane. They'll look to run down Aoi. They've got the route. They do have an RP if they feel it's necessary. And they'll almost certainly continue to dive this. Kuro's turned up. The whole gang of Liquid ready to finish up MP as they bring down Aoi. MSS. He's in a hell of a lot of trouble as well. GH, is he going to go green? No, GH, he's a sensible boy. He's not doing any diving today. They'll let the Earthshaker live. But Aoi and Envy, we pretty much witnessed them just spend a whole 2 minutes doing nothing and then dying.
Yep. They kind of have to go for a big kill. It just seemed like the safer kill was to find the Lone Druid, which is where, like, even just Winter Wyvern trying to initiate with an Arctic Burn Slow may have been enough. But again, both kills are very hard. Lone Druid has Savage Roar. Legion Commander has the early armlet. Once he hits all 3 heroes with overwhelming odds, he gets a huge movement speed buff, so he's going to outrun you. He purges off the open wounds. You had to stop that one armlet. I mean, they didn't have a way to stop him armlet toggling is their thing, so they just had to have enough damage to burst him before he could armlet toggle. Once he gets it off, game over, gank's done, you're not getting the kill, and Liquid, very quick to respond, have well and truly punished you in that move.
Dire's middle tower is under
yeah, Liquid will start taking more objectives. They kind of know that things are going well for them in this game. Midas rush for GH on Magnus, like, Why not? You're crushing the lane. Could get a blink, but you don't need a blink on him. Even mind control is going straight into a Sanj. More survivability.
The BMS and Y build.
Adam's received some buffs.
It has, yeah. Oh, it's like a 5% extra on the the prop rate.
Look at it's gone up like 20% or something over a couple
I think
of
it's 40% No way that MP can get in the neighborhood for this one. It's an absolutely free Roshan here for Liquid, as they have four of the highest net worth heroes in this game. Only Kuroki left behind, and he's already doing better than, well, MSS, the offlaner of MP.
And MP to what we saw in there earlier, 2-0 today.
It seemed like they used all their mojo in that game one against RGV. Do go and watch it, you know, if you are
If
an
you're an
MP
fan,
fan.
don't watch this game.
Yes.
Go watch the other game.
Go watch the other.
Just
go
tune
watch
off
the
right
replays.
now and fire up some replays. Yep. Yeah, much prettier sight.
But you never know. This is MP. This could all be part of the plan.
For
You
these
fifth pick
heroes,
Spectre. You lose the early game. You turn it around in the mid. You win the late game. He's got a relic. He's accidentally queued up Radiance. He meant to go for Rapier Envy. That's what we need to see. Horn and Rapier.
It's funny, like, getting like these small glimpses into his mind. Earlier, he had like a Mask of Madness queued up, and I'm just like, he was considering buying it as like a farming / ganking item. Like, you kind of get these small little tidbits where you're just like, okay, so that's what he's thinking about, but he doesn't end up doing half of his crazy ideas. He doesn't do it. The other half, when he does do it, you get to see them in full action.
The push coming in, and they do have that vision on the high ground MP, so they saw the positioning, but it's just a question of what they can actually do to stop this.
Be fun, ditch some towers, but AUI is up there ready to invest and try fight. This is 5 Liquid heroes, even with the invest. I can see this fight going well for them.
Ripple's got eyes on SVG on the back line, straight in. Here he goes with the Flame Guard. SVG will try and juke him out, and in fact, the juke's successful. Miracle getting outplayed.
Meanwhile, Shaker and Wyvern, they're going to poke their heads in. 1437 does not run into the kind of hero. Okay, that's a good curve.
Yeah, that will be Kuroki out and down. That's going to be the captain gone. Jump forward from Miracle though. They'll look to try and punish 1437, but the corner breaks is dead. GH with the RP onto 2. MSS in the midst of it all with the Echo Slam, bringing Mind Control down low. And now Howie and Envy turning up, going to work. Can't bite through Mind Control's health regen. He'll be able to get himself out there as he heads away. Just 1 for 1 at the moment. Roots there though onto MSS. GH and Matuma Man closing back in. They'll make sure they get the favorable trade. Liquid do come out on top of numbers, and again that is MP blowing the ults to try and do something to stop Liquid's momentum. And at the same time, of course, Liquid did use the RP, but it's fine for them. They're still in position. They're still ready to finish off this tier 2, and they'll get MP with no answers here on this bottom lane.
Lost in Aegis, but that was a lot of big teamfight ultimates coming out of NP. All 5 of them. DAC teamfight ultimates, but puts all their teamfight on cooldown for a bit. Liquid can fall back and farm. They get the tower they came from, and their items getting kind of crazy at this point. Boots of Travel already completed on Miracle, going for the Battle Fury build. He wants to have some damage. Mind Control's completed his SMY. DH has Midas and already completed the Blink to follow it. Matu's straight Mjolnir. Like, you get that Mjolnir nice and early on, when heroes are still squishy, that static charge proc does it.
Top lane Mind Control, lining up his target. He's going to waltz in again with the Boots to Travel. Miracle, can they burst him down in time for the duel? It doesn't look like they can. And in fact, oh, A up.
Okay.
Undercover agent. Yeah. So they'll wait. Then they'll wait.
The rage will be close to coming back up, I believe.
Here we go. Come on out, Howie. I know you're in there. He'll go for the TP out, and he's a smart man. No way to stop that. Howie gets away with his life intact.
Yeah, it was nice kill attempt. If he doesn't have a creep to infest there, they likely kill him after the duel. He wasn't going to die during it with the rage jump.
Go here from Matuma Man. Great ultimate, in fact, from SVG. Matuma Man does roll them back, but the fishes there from MSS just in time. And now Kuroki. This up, MSS will go for the TP. He's going to make it, though. A skewer from GH cleans him up from the backside. MP will lose too, but they do get Matuma Man. Definitely, you know, these core kills are exactly what MP wants to get, but each time it is coming at a cost.
it's 2 supports for core is fine for MP. It's the fact they're losing towers and everyone on Liquid's farming. Spectre at least finding some alone time in the enemy jungle. Gets up to like 2k gold. It's just such a big jump to
Dire's
Radiance.
middle tower
Probably
has
the
fallen.
biggest hurdle in playing like heroes like Spectre or anyone that needs to buy Radiance is that build-up. It's terrible. It's so hard to get that. That's why only like Alchemist is like probably one of the few Radiance heroes that played these days, because he's one of the few heroes that can safely farm it in the jungle at a very fast rate. Is not one of the heroes that particularly excels in flash farming, so it's going to be a slow climb to that, and you kind of just have to wonder like how much further ahead can Liquid be before that Radiance is even done. Can they even take a lane of Rax before Radiance is done? Will they win the game before Radiance? It's still an iron that Spectre feels like we're not going to win without, so there's no point getting like a Blade Mail or Diffusal. Perhaps if like a high ground push comes and he's got like 3k gold, he'll just say, screw it, I got to defend, let's get a Blade Mail, but for now he wants to at least try and go for it. Oh, Miracle found him. Ooh. Even acknowledge Eternal Envy.
BM there. He's like, look at this Spectre.
Wants to be noticed.
Hotline GH. Got that link. So there's just to be a cooldown for a little bit too long, my liking.
And more than anything, like if Spectre farms a Radiance this game without Liquid taking any like major objectives, namely Rax, I don't think it matters, because you've got 4 cores who are going to still be more farm. This lineup can easily beat a Radiance farm Spectre with farm across 4 heroes. Like, you've got Magnus, who can theoretically go for a Silver Edge Blade if you want to break that Spec passive. Even without it, you've got big teamfight lockdown and initiation where you can just blink RP Spectre, take her out of the fight. Ember scales with magic damage very well against Spectre because it's not a BKB carry. So Druid's going to do plenty of damage output as well. Legion, you've got Jewel for the lockdown. Plenty of survivability and mind control. I just don't think this line cares if Spectre. Spectre could have a Radiance now and they wouldn't care all that much because of how farmed everyone on their lineup is.
Smoke there from Liquid. Let's see if they could get in position for an RP. Do a follow-up. NP and D just playing very reserved at the moment. Keeping it safe, keeping up on the high ground, just farming the waves as they come in. Of course, is giving Liquid pretty much free reign of the entirety of this map.
Yep. Liquid's farming enemy jungle, both enemy jungles. Not really farming their own jungle just because it's such a passive place. Although Matu's getting some pieces of it here and there. Tiny scraps of farm. You're in bigger. You're looking at over 1,000 net worth per minute advantage going there. Like 20 minutes in, and the net worth lead is over 20k. That's the biggest kind of stomps you can really see.
I mean, it's kind of weird that we're seeing the opposite side of the spectrum, because in that, you know, for the MP versus IGV game, we were like, this is the biggest stomp we've seen on DAC, and then MP were like, no, we'll show you a bigger one. And
then they picked Spectre and jungled it.
But I feel there's still ways they can come back into this. You can't lose entire faith. Envy's close to that relic.
You can choose to leave that out.
That's prize.
I believe that every game is equal, gods, and up until that foul, the Ancient Falls, each team has a 50% chance to win.
Totally, yeah. Not out of it yet.
Balanced gameplay, you know, all bless the Ice Toad.
Comeback gold and stuff like that. I'm sure Dota, no one really knows what happens in 7.0x patches anymore. Win a fight, kill some core heroes, suddenly Spectre's got not just Radiance but a Manta, and yeah, it's not over. That's for sure. Dota's a very weird game in that way, where even the biggest elites can be lost. But
Yeah, he was coming around there, but they have that sentry out. They knew he was out. Now he has that Shadow Blade that he's just picked up as well now. So again, MP looking to play even more safe, even more secure, even away. And they've got to be careful. There's DD rune on this Ember. Certainly I'd like to have something happen, but yeah, you've got MPs. He's getting towards that Radiance.
yeah, he's getting there. So looks like he'll farm it up. He's farming with AUI just because imagine if the team fight breaks out, they want to have that infest bomb. Radiant ward on the high ground, like you're right by it.
Yeah, there we have at the moment the comparison. It's not actually too. I mean, Matsuma Man, to be fair, he's been the one that has been targeted successfully by him.
AUI's winning on kill damage, kill participation. You know, he was doing okay there in some categories.
He was. But now he's in a lot of trouble. Miracle and Matsuma Man, Kuroki surrounding him. He gets rooted up by the bear. Now he's down.
take the
of
smoke.
double damage.
Space created, you know. MV moving across.
There's
Very,
no jungle
very
to farm
close.
here though. He's probably like, sweet, I found a jungle.
He's got a bounty ring, guys.
Nice, at least there's something.
That is a win. When you move over there onto the enemy half, you're like,
Now you're just going to stand here for
Suckers.
30 seconds, wait for it wait for the camps to respawn. He's going to go to the other jungle and there's like, there's no jungle to farm.
oh, hello! MSS turns up in town, and hello, Matuma Man. He's straight to the graveyard. He's out for 50. Miracle, though, his teammates have been rustled. He wants to look for some revenge. He's straight in, diving the base. Looking for SVG. Blinks forward, will get the kill as he picks up a second on the sideline. MSS just holding close to that cliff wall, praying that they don't see him, but it's not going to work. Miracle jumps in, breaks down the trees with the remnants, and 4 are suddenly dead on NP. Liquid, they had their boy Matuma Man covered, and they made sure that they got their vengeance.
Structures are fortified.
He's going to be in the punching bag this game in that he's pushed down towers, but often the few kills MP have gotten, they've been key kills, have been when they've gotten. He's 3 of the 4 dead, but every time he's died, his team has gotten a lot in return. Done. Sad game to be a support.
Dire's bottom barracks is working.
Supports are advantage.
To where you stand now, but I feel like the game maybe getting harder and harder for DAC realistically. There's still a chance though.
How's Envy doing on the Radiance?
800 gold towards the recipe. 400 away.
It's closer than no 100 gold. Timber Man, he's chomping on a shrine. And
Not being a ranged bear.
as you mentioned, I'm sure Batu's attitude to this game will pretty much be like, right boys, they kill me again. I don't know why he's Northern. He's from Finland, that's enough.
The general like
Northern.
laissez-faire like sound in your voice there, I very much resonated. Like that sounds like something Martin
You know,
would say. You know, he's just like, oh,
He's like, what?
I did my job.
Why they gotta kill me?
This boy Liquid after a rough start to the group stage will take the win however they can on this. Stomp the game against G took a bit of an unusual approach to DH in Naga, but this is much more dominant performance from Liquid. The kind of performance people expected. Liquid probably came into one of the tournament favorites.
For sure, yeah, I think this is day one. People would have expected Liquid to provide something like this, and as we saw, they just had well, quite a rocky start. I mean, a lot of teams as well. It's been very interesting so far. DAC, we've seen some very interesting results in these group stage games.
K gold lead or something. Alright, this game is
Gold.
It's gonna only get uglier before it gets prettier for NP. The prettiest thing about this game for NP are probably the GG ladders coming out soon.
Radiance is done, gods. This is where it all changes. 25 minutes in considering.
Not the fact that it's not where Envy is, it's where Liquid is.
It's 420, you know, it's time for Envy to blaze it up. He's got the kit for it. Up top, let's see what we can do. Well, 1.37 is going to be out. The Haunts used, jump in from MSS with the Echo Slam, bring a micro down low, but it's not enough to kill him. Miracles on the back lines, chains onto 2 Remnants out. They have managed to put the edge on micro. In fact, a huge ult from SVG clips through Matuma Man, cleaving him apart, but there's GH in with the RP. Miracle cleans up as he picks up the triple, and GG is called. It's all too much for MP, and Liquid with definitely the biggest stomp we saw. We saw one earlier with MP IGB. As I said, MP wanted to prove that it could be better there, as Liquid were just allowed to go absolutely ham in that game.
Yeah, it's crazy just how much they dominate an early game with a greedy lineup. I mean, a big part of that is you've got such high-skilled players on your team. I mean, you joke about all the 9K MMRs and stuff, but that's where you can put players like Matu in a 1v1 or a 1v2, Miracle, Ember vs.